Hello everybody and welcome back to our medieval Total War Turkish campaign where we are auto-managing everything. And one of the factors of playing with this set of house rules is that, as you've seen, we have basically no control over what the local lords in the provinces are going to build. I find that a pretty interesting challenge to work with, so I'm okay with it, but we need to start thinking differently if our economy is going to thrive. And so what I've done is I've just decided we're going to start sending our Sultan on a tour. He is, after all, a magnificent builder now, and that's giving a lot of provinces happiness, loyalty to generals, and he's got a good few years left. He's 45 years old. I think we need to send him on a tour of especially the eastern lands. Things are looking fairly peaceful here, but we can use him to force construction of certain buildings that are going to be useful to us. So we want to look at what is going to get us money. We're starting to build a navy, right? We've got a shipwright in Greece now that can begin cranking out dhows. At least we're going on the next level of that, where we're going to get bagalas. In Constantinople, now that the Sultan has been here, he can queue up a boom, which is the nice big attack ship that we get at this level with attack of 4, defense of 3, speed of 2. Very, very nice ship. Hopefully those stats actually matter in the resolution of the combat, but in 4 years we're going to get one of those. But I think we need to keep sending him around here because we need to get money going along in the Eastern Mediterranean, and that's going to require some trade and a lot of ships because we won't be able to trade with ourselves, right? We need to send ships out to other factions that we're at peace with, who have ports that don't produce the goods that we produce. So there's a lot more involved in trade than just in, like for example, Rome Total War, where you can trade with yourself, you just get a few ports, and they start doing it automatically. So let's go down to Nicaea next, because this does have a tradable good. It's grain. It's not a super highly rated trade good, but it is something we can maybe get out and make a little bit of money on. We don't even have a trading post or a port here. Those must have gotten destroyed in a Byzantine invasion, so let's send the Sultan down. We've got enough troops here, excuse me, that I think we would be okay if we were attacked. We would be fighting the battle, and I'm going to keep the big cannon with him. Just for a prestige thing. We can cart it around, no big deal. And because I'm a little concerned of, Byzantine attack, you just don't know. Let's move some archers over there, and I guess we'll keep the peasants around here for the moment. But we're going to get down especially to places like Antioch with all these nice trade goods, gems, spices, silk, and Tripoli also, sugar, cotton. These are great. Palestine doesn't have anything, Sinai doesn't have anything, but Egypt does. Now, on its own, Egypt is building a ship, but we do need to get a port going. So somehow we destroyed the port, but not the shipbuilding facility, thankfully. So if we get down here, we'll be able to get that port, and Egypt has ivory, cotton. So we get ports and fleets and trading posts in all of these provinces, and then start getting ships up to, well, maybe the Black Sea. We certainly want to control this for, ease of transport, but we may not be trading very much longer with the Russians, depending on how our border develops. Otherwise, on the map, we've basically just eliminated Hungary. So they're gone, and there is a massive civil war in the Holy Roman Empire to our west. Now, that may end very soon because factions have a way of reabsorbing their rebel remnants from the civil war. So in a few turns, we may see that these have flipped back to the emperor, which would be fine. We're currently at war with them, and we are invading Croatia, so we're kind of piling on just that little extra bit more. And I think that's all good stuff. We've got a strong force in Hungary. I think we need to keep that there. And I think we've got enough troop production here that as long as our commanders choose some sensible builds, we should be able to hold off any attack. Currently, no wars to our north with the Poles or the Russians, and our only ally is the French. So with that in play, let's end the year. Oh, big war in Poland, big attack. But the Poles are really not finished. They're spreading out into the western territories of the Holy Roman Empire. And this is the one. This is the breakthrough the Russians have been building towards. So let's see how the dice fall here. Oh, unfortunately, this attack by the Poles is not going to be successful, so they're going back to Silesia probably. Okay. All right, and the Germans are going to defend. They're not just going to withdraw. We outnumber them 3-1. But again, this is one of our underlings, so we will auto-resolve the attack there. And we did quite well. 152 men lost. And now we own Croatia. We did get a little bit of ransom out of that. Always nice. Okay, great. So, Croatia, this will end our border with the Germans. And that will end our war with the Germans after a little while. One thing I did see was a move by the Swiss. We've got an Alim over here, so we're able to see what the Swiss forces look like. And they moved over into Bavaria, I think. Maybe Franconia. Let's, do we want to try an alliance? Let's see what their diplomacy looks like. Okay, they're not at war with anybody. So I think they might be an interesting ally. They've got an ally in the French, like we do. And I think that could work out nicely. So we've got 2 years for this. I think we want to auto-resolve it. We'll end the war with Germany. And let's see, do we have our 2 ships yet? No, but we're holding the Adriatic with, I think, a 3-star fleet, and the Ionian Sea, similarly a 3-star Bagala. So far, no ships are contesting us here, and we're not at war with the Italians yet. We're not at war with the Byzantines right now. So now we're in Nicaea, and we got some Sipahis. Very nice. Let's see, economy. Okay, that's gone up a little bit, 2,000. I mean, we're basically spending it every single turn because the AI in all these provinces realizes, hey, the treasury's full. Let's just go nuts. So maybe some Ghazi infantry might be nice. I know it's a bit, you know, it's in the late game, so you could argue that they're not that useful. But let's do a port, right? And we can use that to get ship training. By the time we come back, then we'll be able to get the trader, you know, at some point. So let's see. I'll leave you here. And I think this is good. We'll send these forces over. Now, Anatolia built a port, and there's really no point to it except for this. We can get a ship right here, and we can, again, we can force that with the Sultan. And I think that's all that we want to do there. Okay, and Rum is training stuff. So we'll just gather the forces that we're building up, bring them down with the Sultan to Egypt, and then... I mean, then we may want to think about heading west. We shall see. But we did get a nice ship here, a Bagala, in the Nile coast. So we're so close to having trade. Of course, we will need to trade with somebody. We could start trading with the Spanish, and that might be a smart move. Get a fleet curling around here along the coast of North Africa up to, well, pretty much everywhere, right? We want to get all of these places locked down. Okay, so we're going to assault in Croatia. Everything else is good. Moldavia still doesn't feel like building a fort, which is pretty annoying. But loyalty is good, so I'm happy with that. Let's move you up, and we may want to think about, you know, all of this mess, because the Poles still exist, but I'm afraid they're not going to be around for very long. Let's check that diplomacy, see what we can work. We could try allying with the Russians again. So let's give that a shot. You've got, yes, right there. Yeah, Prince Mikhail III. And he's got pretty low influence for I think doing fairly well. We get all kinds of cavalry. No fort yet in Armenia either. I think, again, they're probably going for that Armenian heavy cav, and probably a fort will come next once they start to get the cash for it. But yeah, let's bring archers down to Syria, and camels over to Sinai. And yes, we've got these units should do well. Yeah, the Russians are going all out. Okay, so it looks like the Swiss king, I don't know what they call him, but the Swiss leader is I think in Bavaria. We'll see where he is next turn. And here the Polish are withdrawing from Pomerania. So the Russians kick them out. But look, they sent their Grand Prince with a very small army, so they may... I mean, if the Poles can get this together, they may manage to cause a bit of trouble for the Russians there. They do have lots of forces. Okay, Brandenburg, the Russians are withdrawing from that. It looks like there's a rebellion, too. Maybe this is a Polish civil war. And Bohemia, yeah, there's just a lot of rebels there. Okay. Castle assault. There's nothing here that's too threatening. So, we did lose 100 men. And wow, we got a nice little ransom there. And we've got another heir, Prince Mehmed. Great. Okay, he looks not fantastic. Secret blackmailer and a great warrior. So I think he's a good candidate to keep close to the Sultan. Even though he is a nice commander, when the Sultan dies, he is going to lose a bit of loyalty. So we'll just have him chase around the Sultan this whole time. Yeah, let's bring these Ottoman infantry, the cavalry, over here. And in Anatolia, we're going to go for a shipwright. And again, not because of trade, but just because we want more boats. So, in Rum, I guess we may as well wait, because that's going to be building a citadel for 4 turns. Nothing in particular that I think I want to train. So we'll just go over to Lesser Armenia. There's no trade goods here. Not really any purpose in building a port. So we'll just continue our tour. Okay, can we do anything here? I think we're pretty good. But yes, we've now got our 1-star Dow off the Mertun Sea, and it'll be 2 turns before we get that boom finished. And what's this? This is a war galley, so this is, I think, better than what we have. 3 attack, 3 defense, no stars, versus 2 attack, 2 defense, 3 stars. So, you know, this is why we need to get going on the shipbuilding. So we do border the Italians now. They do, however, look somewhat weak. Right? I mean, they don't have the Papal States. They may have Tuscany and all of this, but I don't know how well they're doing. Let's actually kind of spy out. Okay, so they don't have Tuscany, and they don't have Crete. Oh, I need to get an emissary down to Crete. Do I have one at a port? Okay, emissaries in Prussia, doing diplomacy, emissary in Kiev. Okay, that is a port province, and I can get down here. All right, let's see if we can do something. And there's an opportunity as well. Let's find my spies. We've only got the one. Okay, he's useful in Croatia, but it's going to take a while. But let's move him over towards Polish lands. We don't want to go into Poland, so what's the fastest way? I guess it doesn't matter. Hungary, then Bohemia, then Moldavia, then Kiev would be pretty quick. Or 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Serbia, Greece has the port. Then we go right up to Kiev. And maybe we can get some unrest. But it's about to fall. We'll see. Okay, we're good there. So end the year. I think I do want to start training more agents as well, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Wherever my Sultan is present, let's force train some agents, because I really like seeing the map. And of course, we've got an impressively large military force. We're training everywhere we possibly can every single turn. Okay, we're allied with the Swiss. Great. So they're in Bavaria. All right, nice. Nice loyal trait there, and let's check out the Swiss holding in Bavaria. Yeah, I mean, I think these guys could become insane. I think these units, Swiss armored pikemen, are pretty good on the autocalc as well. So, yeah, we may be in for an interesting time with the Swiss. Let's check out Tyrolia. And I'd love to get going on a fort here, but we can't. We can't queue it up just yet. Okay, so let's move the spy down to Greece and move our Sultan down to Antioch. This is going to be the big one. Fortunately, nothing is queued up at the moment, so we can just train whatever we want. And archers, yeah, let's get them up to Rum. I have a feeling, you know, we're going to be challenged in Georgia at some point by the Russians. And it's probably going to be, well, you know, they're gonna finish the polls, and then there's going to still be some rebel territory for them to work on. I'm going to leave this stuff. I like having rebel buffers. It's not like Shogun 1 where these guys are going to sally out and attack you. They're much more passive in this game, which honestly is a bit unfortunate. I would like to have to worry about the rebels a little bit more than I do. Okay, it would be really nice if they were training another Dow or something on their own, but at least we'll have another boom shortly. And yep, nothing else down here. We still got this. I guess we don't need it here. And you know, I'm just noticing that Italian ship did not attack us. So, oh, interesting. Oh, wow, okay. So let's go here with our ship, because we can get Crete. There is shipbuilding here, and we can do it this way. We can try bribing this army, and on the turn that we take it over, we'll invade with some of our troops from Greece. 1,600. Okay, let's see if that's cheaper over here. I think it's close enough that we can afford the more expensive stack. Okay, and then we'll send down just some of you units to help out following turn. Oh, this is so good. Okay, it's all coming together. Moldavia, though, I still think I'd like a fort before I feel like causing trouble, and we're not causing trouble. We are getting our economy in order. The king is taking a hands-on approach to the development of the realm, and we will be ready when the Russians attack. Okay, good. The Poles still have some fight in them. And also good, some unrest among the peasants in Pomerania. Very nice. I guess I should have sent a priest or a spy up there. Okay, very good. Nothing destroyed, at least. And, oh, so disappointing. Okay, Lollards in Mercia, that's fine. It's probably not really affecting them all that much. Unfortunately, those, like, heresy events don't seem to do too much. Okay, Utterly Fearless is just fine. Now, our spy is now in Greece, so we can move him up to Kiev. How's that looking? Okay, we'll at least force them to lower the taxes a little bit. But if I remember correctly, there's no border fort up here. And there is up in Pomerania, so we wouldn't be able to get through, most likely. So we've got an emissary. Let's move him over to Saxony. I just want to see what that looks like. Yeah, Tyrolia's rebel-held. Okay, let's keep the Alim moving. We know Switzerland. Well, actually, we don't know about Switzerland. Let's see if that's actually owned by the Swiss. Okay, and in Antioch, what do we have? We do have an assassin. You know what? Let's train it up. He's going to be a 1-star assassin. So this is yes, just valor of 1. But it's better than nothing. And I think since we've already got a trading post, we just get the port. We don't even need to build shipbuilding here if we don't want. Let's go down to Tripoli. We're going to give that the same treatment, although, let's see, we're going to have to wait a little longer there. And Edessa's building stuff too. What are you even... Okay, Khwarezmian cavalry or Sipahis of the port, neither of which we can really build just yet. Turkoman horse, I mean... So this is interesting because my understanding was that the AI would build up its settlements up to the point where it could train like the cavalry or whatever unit gets a valor bonus in the province. And so that's Turkoman horse, and we're here already. We can train them right now. But they're still building stuff. Now, they're still building cavalry stuff, so maybe that's what they're doing. They're just piling valor on the unit that gets the valor bonus already. So, fair enough. All right, and now we've got our boom, and let's see. I think we want it over here if we can. What's this? Well, the Dow is pretty weak. The Bagala is better than a Dow, so we'll do this. We'll shift the boom down to the Sea of Crete. And you know what? This guy just got some man of principle traits, but let's do we want to spend our money, though? because we could probably just defeat this with an autocalc, but I'm a little worried. I want to make sure that we're going to really have a nice, easy time of this one. Let's take... Yeah, you guys up to Constantinople. And then, like, over to Greece if we have to, so that we can send them down to help out with Crete. Actually, no, you can stay here, because next turn, we're going to have the port finished. And then we can... Well, we'll adjust boats as needed. It feels like playing this way is a lot more about logistics, which is a very interesting change from what I usually do. Usually with this game, it's like, you know, it's about getting your troops, getting your one or two good armies together. All right, he's too loyal as well. All right, they're planning to attack the Polish, so at least our spy has given us a bit of information there, which is neat. Attack is planned for next year. And we've got another heir, Prince Selim. Okay. Prince Selim, hard sums, natural leader. Great stuff. And I forgot to move, forgot to move the blackmailer Mehmed. So we got to remember that. Okay, in Tripoli, 2 more years. So can I afford to keep the Sultan here? We could go into Syria, I guess. Although they are building the assassin buildings, which we do get an unmarked bonus for assassins in Syria. The game can only display 1 unit valor bonus per province, but there are a few places where there's actually a couple units that get the bonus. So Syria's 1, Nizaris as well as assassins, and I think Bulgaria is another. I think this is a place with Bulgarian brigands, but also Janissary heavy infantry. So anyway, you know, let's go down towards Egypt, because we can train some stuff and we can force build some ships, and then we'll just move back and forth once things get done. All right, I just trained another spy. Okay, that's actually helpful. Good job. Let's see. Pomerania, we decided was unsafe because of border forts, and they're still there. So let's check out Prussia, and we'll just use you to investigate the presence of border forts. I think though we can risk a spy in Crete. And do we just want to go for it? I mean, the Italians are not here anymore. They kind of backed off. We can go right now. And we can send Prince Bayezid, who is pretty loyal and got great stats. Or Ibek, who's also loyal. So you're a man of principle. So this is just increasing the cost. I don't think we can really afford all of that cost. Well, since we don't have ships to bring these guys on at the moment, let's risk it. We'll get some guys out of Greece. And I think I'll take the lesser general, because I don't think we're going to need the big stack. Yes, we're going to take Crete. Now, this is not going to earn us a ton of money, but again, it's going to be a great staging point for our ships. And yeah, let's bring all of you too. So that leaves behind in Greece, you know, some spears. We've got a supply of the port general. We've got some archers, some handguns. It's nothing that's great. And so maybe, in fact, we can bring down these units just to kind of dissuade them. But what do we do here? Do we want to move? Maybe we do want to bring you back to the Aegean. If we had a trading post here, we would be trading, and we also don't in Greece. We do in Constantinople, so 1 more ship and we can actually trade with Italy. Right? We're not at war with Germany anymore, so... Okay. Lithuania is open, right? No border forts. Not too much here. And loyalty's 180%, so they're doing okay. See, very high taxes there. 200% loyalty. Yeah, the Russians are doing quite well. Oh, the French going for Switzerland. That's where the Germans are holed up, it looks like. Okay, so we're invading Crete. Oh, this looks tougher than I thought now. Let's see. Okay, we did lose a lot, though. 239. All right, we've got him in the castle. We've conquered Crete. Let's see. We've got dread, so let's enslave them all. We'll get our faction leader even more dreadful. Okay. Anatolia shipwright completed. Good. The King of Poland has sent an emissary. Do we want to risk it? If we do, that'll make it harder for us to ally with the Russians, who I was contemplating allying with again. And, you know, it may just not matter because the Poles are probably not long for this world. Let's say yes. Yeah, I'll ally with the Italians, absolutely. Let's see, they're allied with the Byzantines, Germans. You know, they're probably going to drop their alliance with us pretty soon, but I'll take it. And Aragon, they're at war with Spain. Okay, they make a great ally for me, actually. I need to get over there, see what that looks like. Oh, that's right. I was trying for an alliance with the Russians. Well, they said no, and they don't seem to like us very much. Now, is this where the king is? Okay, so the King of Poland is not under siege in Poland, but we could save Poland for the Poles if we were to invade from, like, Carpathia and Hungary at the same time, and that would be kind of a safe move. Oh, I think I want to do it. This might be a perfect time because we give this back to Poland, and then we don't share a big border with Russia because the Poles keep this, right? I think that's the way it will work. We're going to get a ton of just brownie points for having given our ally their province back. So that's going to improve our influence, which probably is actually not a good thing because our influence is like almost or at the maximum. But let's do it anyway. We need to leave somebody behind here. And fortunately, we've got some, you know, some peasant types we can just move up to garrison Carpathia. All right, let's just get them all out. Into Russia. Now, what are going to be the implications of this diplomatically? So we may lose our alliance with Aragon. And what are we bringing in? It's actually, can we, why can't we just merge you two? Oh, because I just don't know. Like, you'd think we'd be able to merge these units together. Anyway, we'll also bring you up. And I think we'd be okay to just leave the peasants behind. So what does that look like? Handgunners, some calves, some spear. Really not much. That's like less than half a stack, maybe a third. This is about half a stack. So the numbers here are 483. So about 800, let's say. 900 total. They've got, like, say, 400, 400, 800. So it'd be about even numbers. Then they may shift men in. So what we could do is we could just make this a little bit sweeter by bringing you up. And, again, a fort in Moldavia would be really nice. Let's bring Slavs to Bulgaria. And let's bring, let's see, who do we want to leave inside Bulgaria? Right there. Actually, Slavs in Wallachia, are they going to be... It doesn't make sense to move them there. We'll leave them there, and then so everybody else can come up. Yes, that's what we do. All right, we're training another big old cannon. We'll move troops up towards the west, and yeah, we're gonna have to watch this. Fortunately, we're just still training stuff up here. This is all looking very nice. Let's get some troops to Armenia, and we've got lots of peasants here. Let's move some over. We'll move you up. And you know, maybe Prince Mehmed or somebody would be good to go up there to help out, because this guy's great. Natural leader, hard sums. And so if we're attacked, we're going to have a nice general up here to protect. We could take Khazar pretty fast, too. I don't think we want to do it just yet. We'll bring the guys up, though. And yes, we'll take... See, what would be best? Futuwas? Or... These guys are just desert archers, so the Futuwas for sure. We'll go up. Okay. Very good. And finally, the Sultan, who's going to move to Sinai. Let's see, Tripoli, or Palestine, rather. We could... Let's go shipbuilding. You know, again, this is not a trade resource province, so we're not going to get money out of trade. We can't even build a trader. But a shipwright is nice. That way, when we're coming through, if the AI is not building it for us, we can queue up ships of our own. All right, looks like the Italians are back in force. They just allied with us. So hopefully, you know, that's going to be fine. All right, and the general who is, like, super loyal, both of them, who got that extra cost for bribery, those guys are no longer, because we won the battle with them. So maybe we can try to bribe again. That's 1,800, but, you know, like, it might be good. This has a 0% chance to succeed. So it's either bribe or wait a few turns anyway, or auto-calc it, which, you know, I guess we could do too. All right, we're hoping that the Italians are going to respect the alliance just long enough to, you know, not attack our fleets. All right, so the Russians withdraw, but it looks like Poland fell, sadly. Okay. So we pillaged Poland. Man, that's frustrating. All right, 2 years there. And so, unfortunately, we're downgrading the bribery, so we'll offer the advised amount. And 2 loyalists. Never works. Never works when they downgrade. Okay, so Inquisition ended. Yeah, Aragon dropped their alliance. Okay, that's fine. Prince Murad is educated. Prince Ibak is a great builder. Okay. So, I guess we may as well just assault. And we can now move troops around freely, so this should be just fine. Loyalty here should be good, especially after we get the province, but having a spy here is kind of nice. And we'll see what remains in terms of infrastructure. I'm not sure if we're going to have a lot of hope there. Oh, we do have some mercenaries. So this is something I've not been doing. I think mostly because we haven't just built that many inns, but we can, at inns, of course, you can train mercenaries, and, I don't know if there's anything here that I really want. I guess keep my eyes on it periodically. But mercenaries, you know, for this campaign, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about it. You know, like, should I recruit them when the Sultan's not there? I think I might allow that. But then again, that might be unbalancing, because mercenaries can just, you know, instantly add, you know, guys to your forces, and it just seems like a bit of a very crazy advantage. Okay, so we're going to get over to Egypt, and we're going to still need to be waiting like 5 turns for the gunsmith, but we can at least queue up some more ships. And okay, great. We're building Bagalas in Greece. Awesome. That's perfect. And now Poland. The problem, of course, is that we have now gotten ourselves into a war where I was just going to hand this back to the Polish. Let's see. Can we do something fun, like push the Khan around? I think we can, and I think we should, moreover. So let's do this. Let's go to Volhynia with all of our forces. I'm not going to bother holding Poland. There may be a reemergence there, right? There may be a, you know, some awful faction reemergence. This does potentially open us up in Carpathia, in Hungary, so this becomes more of a problem. But we push into Kiev, and we need to leave behind something. Let's go with crossbows. Actually, let's go with the Slav Javs. Keep the crossbows there, and you guys can jump in as well. Okay, so we're already, all right. Maybe we shouldn't. There we go. This is yeah, this is a bit worrisome. I think we can handle it, but yeah, I'd rather keep Hungary than Carpathia. Let's see. So maybe you need, and we can move a peasant up, can't we, to Bulgaria? Yeah. It's okay. I think it'll be okay. see. I think we'll take you up to Constantinople. And we'll move you up to Bulgaria. All right. And we'll just have to hope that this doesn't rebel or become a massive Golden Horde reemergence again. So we're moving you up here. And all the good guys, let's bring up a unit of peasants. And you can go up as well. All right, you're coming down to visit the king, and you are going to be here next turn. Okay. So big counterattack in Poland. I'm not sure if we're going to actually get to attack Bohemia as a result of that. Oh my gosh, Aragon invading into Naples. That's right, they have Sicily. Oh, baby. This is so cool. I never see them do well, mostly because I don't play late very often. So in the early game, they tend to get crushed by Spain and France. Okay, so Kiev, they've withdrawn, and we may just get this. Yeah. All right, we get it. So that was a nice bit of loot, and Volhynia. We've got them under siege, and we lost Poland. Okay. So this is our castle assault, and I think this should be just fine, although our forces are quite small now. And we lost 124, so we lost about a quarter. Pillaged 1,400, which means we're probably not going to have a lot of buildings there. And let's enslave them all. Okay, see, I don't get this. This is the turn that we took Kiev. Why on earth would our spy be caught on that exact turn? Okay, brave beyond belief. Sure, honest is very nice to have. Hard sums is also pretty good. All right, public order. Public order is, all right, could be better in a few places. So we're going to have to shuffle some stuff around. Let's move you. Okay, that's better. And let's move you here. All right, all that's looking green. Now we can bring, let's see. Yeah, 100 peasants into Crete ought to do it. Great. Great, great, great. This is also the only faction where your actual color on the mini-map matches the color of happiness in your territory, so it's very aesthetically pleasing to play as the Turks. Okay, so Volhynia is under siege, and we've got a very strong force here. Do we want to go and just break them into a civil war? Because they don't have a strong force in Poland to really threaten us down in Hungary. I mean, granted, we're training garbage in the territory adjacent, but I think we can risk it. So let's go up here. Lithuania is pretty rebellious. Let's see. Okay, there's no border fort in Livonia. So if we have a spy, and we only have the one now, unfortunately, but if we had a spare, I want to keep him here for a little bit. So maybe at some point we'll get a spare spy and we can move him up to Livonia. But we want to push them back. Maybe not necessarily eliminate the faction just yet. But we do want to weaken them. Okay, everything there still looks good. We're still training useful stuff. Let's get the Desert Archers down here, I suppose. Okay, here we are in Egypt. Let's go with the Bagala. And let's just move the Sultan right back out. We'll go up to like Palestine or Tripoli, I guess. Get some buildings going, and then come back down here and get a port. I mean, I could cancel this, actually. Yeah, why don't I do that? I'm not going to need a gunsmith's guild, and if I do... Yeah, cancel it. We'll get a little bit of cash back. They can rebuild it if they really want. So now we're building a port. And that means our trade is just going to start flowing as soon as that and the ship are finished, and as soon as we get a few more boats. So speaking of those boats, you can see our area of influence right now. It's not the best. We're not actually trading. Actually, we are with Greece, Greece and Nicaea capable of reaching Venice. Unfortunately, though, Venice is currently besieged. It looks like maybe a civil war. Maybe this is a rebel attack, though. I'm honestly not sure. But yeah, Venice is not trading. But they also produce silk. So we wouldn't trade our Greek stuff. We would only be trading the grain out of Nicaea. But get another boat out of Constantinople, and then we'll be trading with them for sure. So really, we want to get up to here. We'll see where there's a lot of ships in just that Ligurian Sea region. We want to get, we want to get over here. That's where a lot of the ports are. Bay of Biscay, English Channel's great. The Baltic, eventually. It's very far. It's a bit ridiculous to think of trading that far afield. But I think it's something we could do. All right, so the Russians are attacking Finland, which means that they didn't have it, and that could be because they never bothered to get it or because they lost it. Oh, oh no. They bunched up. Okay, so this is a very decisive clash, and there's boyars here. And they're a good unit. They also do have a lot of peasants. But look at all the armor upgrades on them. That's looking pretty formidable. And some halberdiers. It's really the first wave, like it often is, that you have to worry about. And so this is where their best troops are. So compared with that, I've got some okay stuff, but it's mostly near the top as well. Do you have some Turkoman horse? We've got our Ottoman infantry, right? Bonus versus armored troops. So if that factors into the autocalc, that could help us out. The question is, do I want to risk it? And I think so. Amir al-Jashnikir has done very well for us. If we withdraw, I'm not confident in exactly what's going to happen. We may not have a place to withdraw to if something else happens in Kiev. So I think we're in it. Let's see if this works. Oh, yes. All right, that felt like a real roll of the dice. And that's great. This is what is great about this, because if I fought that battle... honestly, I don't know if I would win either, so it would feel like a roll of the dice too. But there is something that feels very realistic about just being the Sultan, right? Being the leader of your faction and not being able to micromanage all the details of the attacks, just telling them, go up north and disrupt the Grand Prince of Russia. And so your men do it, and you can't directly influence it. So we killed 902 of theirs, but we lost 645 of ours. All right, so we've conquered Lithuania. And yes, indeed. See, I think this would have been bad because if we lose this fight, we would not have had a place to retreat to. And they've got some good units here. Step Heavy Cav. This is really solid. Boyars as well. Okay, so I think we're going to auto-calc this one too. We're going to stick it out. Let's, yes, automatically resolve. Okay, yes. But look at these massive numbers. So this is a big problem for us. We got some good ransom, though, which is nice because our income is very low again. And the Aragonese. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they were attacking I must not have noticed that, but they were attacking the Pope. Wow, so they got to be excommunicated, right? Interesting. Okay. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. All right. Gosh. Okay, somehow we caught and killed an enemy assassin. I'm not sure how exactly because we're not here, but maybe it was the attempt on one of our generals. So, of course, the Russian assassins are trying to kill us when we're in their territory. We need to move our troops back down south, though. We need to abandon the Russian assault, I think, because this is terrible. Master Spearmaker completed. Gunsmith. Yes, the Golden Horde reappear. Oh, man. Okay, only one province, I think, being attacked. And I hope that these rebels will not join in. I don't think they will. And it looks like they're going to be the Russians' problem. So, reemergence number 2. And the North does not like me. Russia does not like me one bit. Okay. Well, we lost a lot of men, and we may lose quite a few more here. I'm wondering, do we want to pull out of Moldavia even? And, like, just go east and take Khazar, like, take Crimea, which would be nice, actually. But, you know, take Khazar, maybe take some of these eastern places. Or do we want to, like, push north and force the Russians into a civil war? 1392. We've got like 60 turns left. That is not a lot, and we're doing very well in terms of the points. We may even be breaking even with the Russians, but we got to make sure that they don't win. So let's pursue Prince Mikhail III, and just make sure that he's going to have trouble. I hate to lose Kiev, but I don't think we can hold it. I think we got to get our good general back down. So let's, well, we can't crank up the taxes. Let's leave it as is. We'll just abandon it, and it's going to rebel, right? There's no way we can avoid that. So we'll go back to Moldavia, and we'll see what the Horde does. They're definitely going to be attacking the Russians first. Let's send our Alim over to try to get an alliance. He'll at least be there next turn. Oh, and they've got some interesting stuff too. So they've got, of course, their Mongol heavy cav, but they've also got Lithuanian cav. Okay, so we can see that. Why can I see all this stuff? Oh, I guess because of the border fort in Kiev, right? Okay, so a lot of archers. Yeah, so these reemergences are pretty weak, but they're going to generate a lot of strong heavy cav too, and they got a ton of these guys. I wish we saw more of these units. They're very interesting. Okay, so we have to hope now that we can hold on to Hungary and Carpathia. Let's get these guys up to Carpathia. And yeah, let's keep everybody there. I don't know if we're going to bother to save Moldavia or just move back. We haven't really done hardly anything with it. So Khazar, let's just leave. Actually, yeah, let's just leave, because if we get attacked in Kiev, we don't want to border the Horde very much. So we'll let our northern army deal with the Mongols, or deal with the Russians, and come to some other kind of solution with the Mongols, depending on what they want to do. Okay, we've got very low taxes, 135% loyalty. What does that look like? That's terrible. Okay, well, let's leave you, and I guess the odds and ends. All right, that is better. So we'll bring you back to Greece. And we've got peasants here. Okay. Again, we don't want to build anything in Sinai. All right, and they moved men into to Livonia too, so we may lose that army. Okay, they just withdrew. Good. So we pillaged it. Their king moved out though. He's probably in. Where is he? He's not in the castle, is he? Oh, he does have a ship, so we could have moved to Finland, which would be interesting. So we lost Lithuania. The Russians retreat Volhynia, which is good. And the Russians attack Kiev. Fine. You can take it. Okay. And here we can now train a Dao. Again, this is mostly going to be for trade purposes. Oof, but we just don't have much money. It is very frustrating. Okay, and the French exist. All right. Well, we are now trading with Cyprus, actually. They have no trade goods, which means that anything we produce, they can trade. So let's check this out in Constantinople is not actually trading, but Nicaea should be. So let's click that and see where exactly we're trading. Where's the details of that? Oh, that's right. We don't have the trade place. Okay, so Greece. Greece is trading. No, you don't have a trading port either. We don't have any trade facilities in the places where we can trade. That's great. Oh, we do in Antioch now. We do in Antioch. So, yes, perfect. Trading with Cyprus. And we're also trading all the way to Naples. So that's making us 300. See, this is why. This is why we want to do this. So because of that nice little slender trade route, we can trade with Naples. We get a ship in the Dodecanice. We can trade with the Byzantines as well on Rhodes. And we get a ship here, and then our port here, and we're we're going to be in it. But we need to keep the ships coming so that we can keep pushing out our trade routes. And we really don't need all of this organ gun stuff. We really don't. But let's take all of you good fighting types, move you up to Bulgaria. I'm afraid you're going to need it. And we built some Sipahi horse. Okay. All right. And we wasted money to queue up some Master Boyars. Guys, we're leaving. We're leaving. We don't need to do that. Okay, here, though, let's wait. Let's wait and see what the Mongols do. We can attack Khazar next turn. And so where's the Grand Prince? All right, let's just keep moving. Get out of Novgorod. We might be able to corner him in Finland. And Novgorod looks empty to me, so this is very exciting. Okay, everything else looks happy. And what kind of stuff? Can we see what they have? All right. Oh, this is interesting. So thank God they don't have any ships out here, but they've got a ton of, like, royal knights from previous family members. And otherwise, just lots of peasants. All right, if the Mongols want to reestablish themselves in the north, if they want to go north from Volhynia, I'm fine with that. Okay, Poland, that's a little worrisome. All right. Okay, so that's their king, which means we're going to get Novgorod. We're going to plunder this. Great, 950. And we lost Livonia. And Kiev, oh, come on. I'm going to abandon the province because we don't want this. We don't want to invite attack from the Mongols. We get some steppe heavy cav, which is great. And the largest military. And the Danes reappear. Oh, baby, yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay, their king is there. Wow, okay. This is awesome. So this is a little raid up into Russia, and it is reaping some rewards for us. The raid into Russia reap rewards. We've got the Mongols reemerged, which could be horrible. But they're attacking the Russians right now. And so I'm going to allow it. And the Danes have reemerged. And again, because these are reemergences, the Danes are not getting any points. Whereas the Russians... okay, that's not a civil war. That's a rebellion that was already in place. So they're probably going to retreat from that too. We might see the elimination of the Russian faction at this point. So I think what I'll do is this. I'll wait because I don't want them to move into Novgorod in flight from the Danes. I'll wait to see what they do. They may move, I don't know, Finland, or I guess they could invade Sweden if they want. But they might go down to Lithuania. If they do, I don't know. I may let the horde expand a little bit. But I feel like we could corner them. So here now we can finally get going on. Let's do a port. And we're going to have the port done there. And we can get ships trained as well. Okay, so nice thing now. I can move up to Antioch. And then I can move my army immediately down to Egypt. So because we've got ships, we've got boats. This is great. This is a big, big boost for our mobility. And man, the Italians, this is awesome. A nice rebel buffer to our west. Very good. And we're training some good stuff here too, I think. But this is definitely weak. So it's good, I think, that we're bringing our... our generals and our units up in this direction, and I think we want the Ghazis up here too. Yeah, let's start to move some of our men over to the west. Okay. All right, so now they're attacking Kiev, which is good. I'm not there, so that's just a Mongol-Russian dispute. And Livonia, okay, the Russians are retreating. And I wonder if that means the Danes are just going to take it because... No, it looks like they moved their king out beforehand. Okay. So, good. The Golden Horde. All right. Interesting. They've retreated from Kiev. That's nice, I think. I think we've got the Russians kind of where we want them, and I don't necessarily want the Horde to get too big. But I'm not sure what I really want. right? Because if we eliminate the Russians, which is kind of what I'm sort of on track to do that here. I'm very close, I think. Just corner them enough, they get a big civil war, and then you can corner their king and execute him. So it's like we're building momentum towards that. And if I do that, of course, that helps the Horde. And the Horde are very formidable, but, so are the Russians. And the Horde doesn't earn glorious achievement points. So I think we got to do that. Okay, I'm going to not ally with the Germans. Keep allied with the French because we are trading with them. Not that it matters too much, to be honest, but... Okay, so we've got a trading post here. Let's make it 352. I guess we could queue up the next highest level. I think a place like Antioch is one of the few places where it really makes sense to go for that, for the merchant-type buildings. All right, and then you'll go down to Egypt. And I mean, I could move this guy back to Constantinople next turn. This is beautiful. So now my king is traveling in style, traveling by ship. He no longer has to plod from place to place. So we've got a trading port or a trading post. And then, yeah, I don't think I need to bother with anything else there. Let's get an assassin here. All right, we get some good units training in Bulgaria. Moldavia just doing nothing, just the worst. All right. I will get my king over here at some point to, really decide how we're going to build up the frontier, because we're not doing a good job of that. And now we do have an extensive frontier, effectively from Hungary all the way to Moldavia. So 3 provinces. Whereas I wanted to have it more like this, and then we could shunt everything to the east. So, he's down to 3 influence, Prince Mikhail III. Eager to retreat. This is hurting loyalty. This is all great stuff. Do we want to pursue? I don't know that we do, because we're not... Are we allied with the Khan? No, we never actually queued that up. Let's see if we can. And while we're at it, let's see if we can ally with the Danes. And we'll stick around in Novgorod, I think. But maybe we should just go for Muscovy. Well, let's see. Let's do this. I mean, Novgorod is probably pretty good in terms of income. And we are training troops out of here. So I think that the Danes are not going to attack us until this siege is resolved. Right? That's kind of what I'm worried about. If we get an alliance with them, maybe we can actually keep this as sort of a Turkish protectorate. Okay, Russians try to attack Novgorod and decide they can't. Good. So it's probably good I didn't move out. And we're the richest, which is very depressing because we've only got 3,500. All right, very good. Killing Russian assassins. All right, we've got an alliance accepted from the Golden Horde. That is great. Okay, his wife can birth to a son. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so down here, we've got another ship finished, and we're already queuing one up. Well, that's just wonderful. Let's take the Dow. And actually, you've got a sort of a small radius, but actually, you're a Dow as well, right? Yeah, so we'll just do a little shuffle over here. And now we're going to be trading with the Byzantines in Rhodes. And here... okay, actually... this is the best we can do in terms of shipbuilding. I might want to go with a Ribat. We've got a Mosque already. Let's queue that up because we're going to start going in this direction at some point. Maybe fairly soon. So we'll queue up the Ribat. Now let's go back to... do we want to go to Constantinople? Yeah, because I just don't know what the point is even of this. Maybe I'll let it stand, but we can at least force some ships, and we're getting more ships. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, Bagala, you go here. This is my good Bagala. You can go to Sicily, And now we'll at least get eyes on Sicily to see what they have. And yes, we've got to get a ship here and then here. And then we'll have total control of our territory. Okay, so this siege is resolved. And our emissary, or Alim, has not managed to get the Danish alliance yet. I don't know why he's down here. Maybe the Danes tried an attack that they canceled. But I'm willing to give this another turn and wait because they are at war with the Russians. So they're probably going to go down here next. I don't think the Russians are going to go up into Novgorod. I mean, we could go for Kiev. Right? Like, we could go to Khazar, go over here, and probably hold these places. Let's do it. I've been holding off for long enough. So all of you guys can come up here. And we just want to make sure that public order is good. And it is. George is just wonderfully happy with us. We've even got some more troops here that we can bring in if we feel like it. Let's move them up to Trebizond. It probably would be good to get a port there pretty soon. All right, only 4 more years before 1400, and this is our next point of counting. So we get Khazar, it's under siege. We built a trading post in Novgorod. You know, I might want to keep that. All right, very good. The Danes have accepted our offer of alliance. So, yeah, you know, I think this might be fine. We keep a presence up here and let these two factions throw themselves at Lithuania while we nibble away at the east. We get access to the steppe. There's going to be some good troop training possibilities up here. We've already got some of them in our ranks, it looks like. Oh no, that's what's in here. But we will be able to get these guys. Just a beautiful looking unit card for this steppe heavy cav. So we'll get Khazar next turn, and public order looks great. Great. And roads, yes, the Byzantines look nice and compliant. They've only got 80 cataphracts. Fantastic, ridiculously fantastic influence. It's probably because Rhodes is still a homeland for them. Let's check that out. No, but it was. So maybe just the fact they're alive is giving them some steady influence. All right, that's fine. So up here, now we can force train another ship. Let's go with a Bagala. Save a bit of cash this time. Oh gosh, and get all these siege weapons in with the Sultan. Let's move you up to Bulgaria. And I'm not really seeing any other ships of my enemies, so that's wonderful. Okay, Sicily. Now we can see. We can't really get details, but the Aragonese look to be doing fairly well. They've only got Sicily, though, so that's unfortunate. I was kind of hoping they still had Aragon and Valencia, maybe, and they were giving the Spanish a hard time. But no, it looks like the Spanish are going to be, you know, they're in second place currently. So they're definitely on our list. But I think we're going to overtake them in a few years. I think we're gonna start beating them in the points. So maybe we won't need to do a lot of conquering over in the west. Let's keep these units here. I think, you know, I kind of like diversifying where my units are located. Where are you? The secret blackmailer? Yes. Okay, we'll move you right back with the Sultan. Actually, we don't need him here anymore. So we'll move down to Nicaea, and then we'll be able to train something, or maybe get going on a shipwright. All right, but, you know, it might be worth a visit to Moldavia to get a freaking fort built. Okay, very interesting. The Mongols are getting into Bohemia. And Aragonese are just throwing themselves at Naples. So this should be just fine. Got some Bulgarian brigands, it looks like. Some good units, but just pieces of them. So pretty straightforward victory. But we still lost almost 300 men in that assault. Crazy stuff. Did get 1,000 in ransom. With a most advanced. Alright, good. That's going to be some more valor for our assassin in Constantinople. Catching those enemy spies. And we get our port done in Tripoli. Great news. So now just that trade is going to go even higher. Yeah, 3,700 in income. Okay. So we have Khazar. It's very happy with us. And because we have a steppe province, we can now train stuff like steppe cavalry, which is a cool unit. But, you know, like in autocalc terms, I'm not sure how great they are. We could also train Spahis and other things. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But fortunately, we at least have a fort here, so we can maintain this force where it is. And we're still training stuff. I guess we can do that. So, Novgorod. No ship training facilities yet. Maybe they'll do that at some point. But let's see. There's the Grand Prince. Let's see. And the Russians failed to take, or the Horde failed to take Bohemia. So let's move back. Let's go to Brandenburg. And are the Poles still alive? They are. That's very interesting. They're allied with the Horde, but they are at war with the Russians. So the Russians and the Polish might still be contacting each other along the southern Baltic. Okay, so it looks also like we may have to think about defending this not from the Mongols, but from the Russians. So let's move, yeah, like a bunch of these guys up. We'll keep some in Bulgaria because, you know, there may be a sudden attack. Let's see, you're both 2-star Bagalas, so maybe one of you in Malta would be nice. Alright, and here, because you just moved down, let's go with another Alim, and let's go with a shipwright. Actually, no, we definitely want a trading post so we can actually start making some money there. Do we want to go back down to Egypt? Yes, we can force another ship. And we do have to keep an eye on this. The Byzantines training a galley. If they do, we can just destroy them at this point. If they don't want to play nice. Okay. Here, though, I think, you know, it's a little tricky. I'd like to keep Khazar, and, I feel as though I need to keep all of these forces together. And we do need to defend. Because if I move out of here, they get into Khazar and then to Georgia, and then it's a nightmare. And fortunately, we get lots of peasants in Edessa. Right? So let's move some of you up where you can help out with garrison duty. Jeez, nap the throwers. I mean, they're fine. Okay, there's an attack. Let's see if we can withstand that. Okay, we don't need to. They're going to withdraw. And here, it looks like a combined attack by the Mongols and the Poles. The rebels withdraw. The Mongols are going to get it, though. Okay. Dockyard. And here come the Spanish. All right, so what we'll do is we'll just maybe inch towards them. Right? All right, so Bohemia's got some rebellion. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Khan stays allied with the Spanish and drops their alliance with us. And the French do the same. All right, well, you know, I think this, let's see, if we can see where the crusade is coming from, it may be fine. The Spanish do have their homelands. There are only 3, and they do have quite a few conquest points, but that may simply mean that they own all of Spain and all of North Africa, which is kind of what I assumed anyway. Now, I don't know if it really makes a lot of sense for us to push into Cyrenaica, but we can at least get a ship here and then kind of keep moving those ships out. And in fact, maybe we want to do this because we could launch an attack over Cyrenaica down into Tunisia from just about anywhere as long as we stay neutral with the Byzantines. So I think that's what I'll want to do. Let's move the Sultan. Let's see. So we queued up a ship. We've got the Ribat coming. Let's go to Greece because we don't have any ships being trained there. And so next turn we'll add that. All right, this is coming together. It's making some sense to me now how we need to be playing this. The Sultan is the guy who gives the orders. Sometimes, at times of extreme necessity, we can send him into battle. But most of the time, he roams around and decides what gets built where. And now we've got a very, very nice corner of the Mediterranean. We've got the entire eastern Mediterranean basically locked down, and we're extending our tendrils into the central Mediterranean. So let's end the turn. We'll do one more year here. And finally, do we want to make any other decisions in the north? Like, I almost don't mind just leaving Novgorod, but we want to do it in a way, let's see, in a way that makes sense, right? We want to move some troops up so that we can get support in Khazar and still have plenty of garrison stuff in there as well, and in Georgia. And so I think that's good. And we can go right for Chernigov. But the problem is Khazar can be attacked from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces. But they will have a hard time attacking if they're facing a civil war. That's what I think. So we'll send a couple of stacks over pretty much. And, you know, a little extra. Okay, and actually maybe we don't want to do that. All right, we need to wait a little bit longer, I think. But maybe Novgorod, I mean, it is making us 600. But it might be better for us to just break the back of Russian power and really focus our efforts against the Mongols. The Mongols are at war with the Russians still. So if we can, you know, if we can focus on taking some of this other territory, let's see what the public order looks like if we come down to Smolensk. Still looks very good, and we've got a strong force here with Emir al-Muntasir, and I think he can defend against pretty much anything Russia wants to throw at us. Of course, if they bring these 2 stacks directly up there, that could be a problem. What if we do just 1 stack? Prince Selim. Okay. Yeah. All right, that's what we'll do. 2 attacks simultaneously. We'll get down around the central belt here. And I do want to see what the North African coast looks like as well. Okay, there's that attack. Yes. So we may lose Novgorod then. Oh, and the rebels are moving. Interesting. So they're attacking the Mongols in Bohemia. And I think we have to resolve this. Emir al-Muntasir, I hope you are good at a last stand. Yes. Very good. Okay, so Smolensk, they withdraw. We take it completely. And Chernigov, they withdraw, and we take it completely. 1,900 florins pillaged in Chernigov. And yes, indeed, the rebels of the Holy Roman Empire kick the Mongols out of Bohemia. That's going to be good for them. And the Turkish Sultan has died from an illness. So, unfortunately, that was our Sultan. I can't remember his name. Was it Murad? Something like that. And the Russian Grand Prince has also died from an illness. So, there's succession happening all over the place here. Let's take a look at our new Sultan. All right, and it's the year 1400. All right, we scored 19 points off of homelands. Beautiful. So where are we now? 64 points to the Russians' 76. So we are now in 2nd place. There is only one... Okay, there's 2 more points at which we are counted for victory points. So 25 years... and then another 28, I guess, years after that. You know, and I think we might not need to destroy the Russians. We might just be able to eke ahead of them if we keep up this momentum. And we'll definitely be beating the Spanish, right? Even if we don't do anything spectacular. So the ships here in North Africa show that they do have a strong force on Tunisia. That's interesting. They got a kind of a weak force in Cyrenaica. But if we were to attack them here, they would just counterattack pretty hard with these guys. And unfortunately, if the Sultan's not present, we're not going to be fighting those battles ourselves, which means that we're not going to be able to necessarily count on the desert, the weather, those types of things that are usually so advantageous for a Turkish player. Okay. We will have 1,000,000 camels. So, that's always nice. And I think, right, we've got peasants here. Let's bring the cav down. Sipahis can go. Actually, let's bring them up. I think we want to get troops towards the north, towards Georgia and Khazar. So here the king, where did he go? He's not there. He's here. So he's vulnerable now. He's cut off. And we can't get him this turn. But I think we've got enough that we can defend Khazar, even from these forces. And we abandon Chernigov. I think we go right for Muscovy. Let's see. Yeah, I think it might be worth just about abandoning Novgorod. Let's see. Let's leave you and you and you. We'll leave the gunpowder guys, and that's yellow. So, not ideal. What about Slavs? You like Slavs? Still not great. Alright, I'd like to just get it up. Get it up to the green. Let's get some urban militia. How about that? Okay. Now, Smolensk is looking unhappy, but that's fine. Oh, actually, this is a little awkward, isn't it? Maybe I don't need to send all this, but let's abandon it. Let's just go right over here. We may go back to the castle of Novgorod, but I think we're going to be abandoning Smolensk. And we'll go... Oh, jeez, we can hit all of these. We can hit Muscovy from, like, almost all of these places. I think we have to go to Ryazan, right? And so I think that's going to be the goal. We want to corner him, execute him, and that won't be the end of the faction because they do have an heir down here in Kiev, but we'll at least do a lot of damage and kind of contain them in the northeast there. And yeah, when we come back, we're going to be seeing where this crusade is. Maybe we want to move down to Burgundy, just keep eyes on things in Europe, and maybe get some emissaries and spies over to Spain. We do have another Alim, so let's send him directly over there to Valencia, see what we can see there. Because, we may be ready to make a move west, either by ship, which we could do right now. We could just attack Tunisia directly from Egypt or directly from anywhere, which is just so nice. And we could just pour into Spain and totally take over that region. But I don't think we have to. Let's play it a little cautious, see where the crusade is going to come from, see if the Mongols are going to attack us, and really importantly at this point, see what the Russians are going to do as well. This has been, I think, a very enjoyable campaign. It's a little long for this episode, but the strategic stuff is kind of a fun little puzzle to work out. So I hope to see you next time. Until then, take care.